Welcome back to Geography World's channel where learning is fun. For this video, we will discuss the answers to question 3 on the 2017 May-June CSEC Geography paper 2. Remember to follow Geography World channel on Instagram and Facebook using the link shown on the screen. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Question 3 on the May-June 2017 paper shows a population pyramid of Barbados for the year 2014. We are to study the population pyramid and answer the questions that follow. So the first question asks that we determine the age range for each group represented on the population pyramid. Now the answer is 4. Now for each group, which is 0 to 5 is one group, 5 to 9 is one group, 10 to 14 is another. Now, in order for you to receive or to get the range, you have to subtract the smaller number from the larger number. So for example, in the group 0 to 4, it is 0 from 4, which leaves us with 4, or 5 from 9, which leaves us with 4, or 10 from 14, which leaves us with 4. So the range for each group is 4. Question 2 asks which age group had the largest number of persons. Now we could go ahead and zoom in a bit to look at the age group that had the largest amount of persons. Now if you look, this age group, it is the one with the largest both on the male and the female, and that is the 45 to 49 bracket. So the 45 to 49 age group has the largest population. Question 3 asks how many females were between the age group 5 to 9. So if you locate the 5 to 9, which is here, and the females are located on the right. So the females are located on the right, and then you will measure. So you go all the way up, and where the line stops, the bar stops here, you measure downward. So it's basically at 9, and it's in the population in thousands, so it will be 9,000. And then it asks how many males were between the age groups 10 to 19. Now first thing you'd have to do is locate the 10. So between 10 to 14 and 15 to 19, you want to know how many males are located between these two. So for 10 to 14, it is 9.1, and for 15 to 19, it is 9.2. So it's in thousands, so it would be 9,100 plus 9,200, which equals 18,300. Now part 5 asks that we identify one particular age group which had twice as many females as males. Now we're going back to the population pyramid. Now which ones has twice as much female as male? Now if you look closely, you will not find any below. So between 0 and 70, you will not find any. So the 85 to 89 bracket, right, based on the size of the bar, the female section could go twice into the male section, right? So it's 2 times. So the female section is 2 times larger than that of the male. And the 90 to 94 could also go. So if you use 85 to 89, or 90 to 94 would be good. Question B asks us to define each of the following terms. So the first one is urbanization, and we know that urbanization is just the growth in the proportion of individuals that's basically living in the cities and the towns. Now we also got urban sprawl to define, and urban sprawl is basically just the physical growth of cities at the edge, mostly caused by more and more persons needing housing. So urban sprawl, it takes place at the edge of the city. And then we move on to section C, part 2, that asks us to describe 3 problems caused by population growth in urban areas of the Caribbean. Now, urbanization, it comes with many challenges. So the first one is urban sprawl. Urban sprawl and lack of housing can go hand in hand. So because there's a lack of housing in the cities, persons are forced to start developing at the edge of the urban area. Because of urbanization and the inadequate amount of jobs to basically put everybody in, then we have urban poverty that's developing, and urban poverty is very high. Traffic congestion is another major problem. Crime and violence. We do have a lot of crime and violence taking place in urban areas because persons migrating from the rural to the urban areas in search of jobs. Not everybody will get a job, and some of them will actually have to turn to the informal sector, where they become robbers, thieves, right? They become scammers, pickpockets, right? And with urbanization, we also have pollution taking place. Question C asks us to explain any three of the following factors have influenced the development of the tourism industry in the Caribbean. The Caribbean is ideally located to attract tourists from North and South America. Now, remember, the Caribbean is located between North and South America. So most of our tourists, they basically come from North America as well as South America. Now, the Caribbean is basically easily accessible by air and water, where we have major airports and docks. So the Caribbean is strategically located and is easily accessible. Now, our climate, we basically experience tropical marine climate, and this means that we have temperatures that averaging at least 28 degrees Celsius throughout the year. So persons in the colder regions, they usually come to the Caribbean as an escaped adventure. They come to the Caribbean to escape their colder homes or the colder regions. Physical feature. When we talk about the physical features in the Caribbean, there are three things that must come to mind. We have sand, the sun, and the sea. Now remember that the sun helps to influence the tropical marine climate that we have, the temperatures that we experience. The sand, we have the coral banks that have basically aided in the development of white sand beaches that have gentle breaking waves. And the sea, we have crystal clear waters. So these are a few of the physical features that help to influence or develop the tourism industry. Now, aside from sand, sea, and sun, we also have waterfalls in the Caribbean. We have natural vegetation, we have animals, we have volcanoes, and we have many other physical features that basically help to develop the tourism industry in the Caribbean. Now, when we talk about culture, we know that the Caribbean has a very unique culture, and this basically pulls tourists to visit the Caribbean because they want to participate as well as to learn about our culture. So for example, Jamaica, when they come to Jamaica, they want to eat Jamaican food, they want to learn how to speak the patois, they want to visit the different historical sites, they want to listen to the Jamaican music. So tourists, they come because they not only want to learn about our culture, they want to experience our physical features, they want to escape their blizzardous cold weather by coming to the Caribbean, which has a very mild tropical marine climate. And because of our location, we're so strategically located that it makes it very, very easy for them to come to the Caribbean. Part 2 asks us to explain 2 measures that have been implemented to reduce the impact of tourism development on the coastal environment in the Caribbean. Now, tourism, once you heard about tourism, it's usually concentrated on the coastal areas. However, the different Caribbean islands, they have come together and they have developed different categories of tourists to actually try to distribute the tourism industry throughout the island. So what they came up with, the broad heading was sustainable tourism, and this is basically just the proper management and the development of the natural, cultural, and the human resources so that it will be sustained for future generations, so that my children, children, they will come and they will see what the Caribbean has to offer. Now, tourism is divided into different areas. So you have ecotourism, and this is the tourist that looks at the untouched nature environment. So these tourists, they will visit the forest, right? They will look at the animals. So they're not only focused on the coast. So these are the tourists that will go and they'll climb, for example, the Blue Mountain, the Sophia's Hill volcano, right? We have adventure tourists, and these are the tourists who will do cliff diving, bike riding, right? We have community tourists, and these are tourists that will stay in bed and breakfast accommodation instead of large hotels along the coastal area. So they will go in the different or in the smaller communities so that they will interact with the locals. We also have heritage tourism, and this focuses on the historical and the cultural aspect. So these tourists, they focus more on the history of the Caribbean and the country rather than on the coastal environment, rather than the beach and the cliff. So they focus mostly on the heritage. So these are just a few types of tourists that have been implemented to basically pull the focus away from the coastal environment in an effort to ensure that the coastal environment remains sustainable. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your post notification bell in order to receive more videos like this. Leave comments below suggesting geographic topics that you would like or want me to present on. In the comment section below, comment the name of your school and the territory for a shout out in my next video. Until then,